Okay, here we go. Now, I saw this post here, and it's not that it triggered me, but it reminded me of some things. It reminded me of what it was like to be married. It reminded me of how much frustration I dealt with how much extra work you had to put in for no reward and no returns. Basically, you're literally rewarded with nothing. And betas will tell you, listen, man, you'll get a reward. They'll give you encouragement. Oh, man, if you're right, if you're right and she's wrong, she's right. You know, I saw a video like this, and I'm going to show you that. Check this video out. Check this video out. This completely is going to explain marriage.
Well, I'll get to it. But I started with the most obvious thing. There's two inputs, Dawn and Laura's, my wife Laura. Okay, if I'm wrong and Laura's right, this is a really easy one. Laura's right. That's simple. Thank you very much. That one seemed obvious to me. Believe it or not, from here, it gets complicated. Okay, if we're both right, it doesn't matter. Laura's right. Thank you very much. That's the key. I would rather be happy than be right. That's what I'm... If I'm right and Laura's wrong, doesn't matter. Laura's still right. And if we're both wrong, Donna's wrong. If you're a single guy, take out your phone and take a photo of this. You're going to need to know it someday.
Now, you see that explanation? You see how that goes? That is marriage. So this lie that men have been misogynists, men have been toxic, this is all just lies because we've been going in a beta pathway for the longest while. Men, honestly, most men that are married, once they pass the 7-year mark, 8-year mark, and so forth, going forward, you're going to have to be a beta male. There is no fighting, there is no debating this. You're gonna have to be a beta in order to please your wife. You're not gonna be able to have opinions of your own that she's going to agree with. Unless there are opinions also that she shares, then yes. For the most part, the majority of men that are married are going to have to be beta to keep these marriages. Now, I was looking at this Instagram post here. In this Instagram post, it's basically saying a man divorced his wife for withholding sex. They only had sex twice in 2 years. And he says right here, I will never again negotiate sex in a marriage. That's why I got divorced. Men are miserable because you are withholding sex for him until he does what he's told. That's a private hell. If that is done to me, you're out, sweetheart. Too many women out there who will give sex with no conditions. He's right. He is 100% fundamentally right. There are lots of females out there giving sex with literally not much conditions. They're giving away for free. Pookies, Ray Rays, Tyrones, they're getting sex for nothing and it's costing them absolutely nothing, even if they impregnate the girl. There are guys who are just paying for sex and paying for the girl to leave. But you who are married, you went through the whole wedding, you bought the house, you bought the cars, you paid for all the bills, and now you literally have to negotiate sex. If you piss her off, you could basically forget about it. If you really piss her off, then you're going to be sitting on the couch and sleeping on the couch. That is modern day marriage. And the third page here, this is what I could relate to, because I was married to a stay-at-home wife, right? She was a stay-at-home. She said she wanted to stay at home. She even wanted to homeschool the kids. She did not want to enter back the workforce. And I said, are you sure? Because that means everything's going to fall on me. She's like, yeah. I said, okay, fine. So, I started working harder, knowing that I'm going to have to still make a really good income and try to make 2 incomes. But eventually, this always arises. I need to do more at home. I need to be more involved in the kids' activities. It's too much for me. You don't know all the work I got to do at home. And when he was saying, "Will you take care of the kids right here, the house, the dishes?" I'm telling you, I was doing all of that and getting nothing. It's not like, "Oh man, you're so burnt out. You came home, didn't even do anything for yourself, jumped out of your work clothes, jumped in your clothes, took your daughter to her swimming, took your son to his karate lessons, took them to their nightly activities, go to the school concerts, came home, dropped asleep. There was no back massage, there was no nothing. There was absolutely nothing. No reward for doing that, for doing the work that she's supposed to do. There's no reward because the argument is they're your kids. You should be happy to do this extra work. So that just led me to scratch my head saying, then what are you doing here then? If I got to do all my work, then plus I have to share half the household duties, why are you here? This is what an alpha man will say. But a beta male will say, "Oh, that's fair. I need to help out." And that beta mindset is just going to do nothing but put you in a sinking hole of depression, which is what happened to me. Which is why I became addicted to alcohol, and I use that as a coping mechanism to just ignore the fact that literally I'm living in hell. Which brings me to the whole point of this whole guy pulling his whole point on this is basically him saying that beta males in marriages, women should not be negotiating sex with you. If you do not want to have sex with your husband, you need to absolutely say that, and you just need to get to a point where you're gonna have to dissolve the marriage. You're gonna have to, because if you're still like in your 40s, you're still gonna be turned on. You're still gonna be sexually active, and you now have hitched yourself to somebody who basically doesn't want to comply to any of your sexual needs. Tell me, how does that work? There are way too many men that are married right now that are literally stuck in this predicament where they're getting absolutely nothing. They get their sexual happiness through either watching OnlyFans content and porn or sexualizing females that walk in front of their desk every single day. That's how they get their fix. Is that the life you want to really live? Really? Don't be a beta. Don't. It's gonna end disastrous for you.